Looking for quality lumber for your dream home or an upcoming project? Then make Builders Lumberyard your premier provider. We provide a full selection of rough and dress lumber, such as Green Heart, Purple Heart, Kabakali, all types of mixed hardwood, Silver Bali, Ditarma, and many other species. We also stock clean and knotted pine doors in various sizes, Qualable posts, farm boards, plywood, and all types of molding. Orders can be cut to any specification and delivered to your worksite. With over 25 years of experience in the lumber industry, we are determined to provide a quality lumber that meets our home builders and contractors' every need. Builders Lumberyard and you will always be a winning combination. Visit our main office at 12 Lombard and Deroy Street or our branch office at 66 Ben Street, Georgetown, or telephone 225-9530 227-0904.
Now Milko has done it again. We've listened to you, and now available nationwide. Another convenient size packaging of Thunderbolt all-purpose flour. It's here, the 5 kg or 11 pounds new packaging of Thunderbolt all-purpose flour. Now available at your nearest supermarket.
Now Milko, National Milling Company of Guyana.
Elite architecture, shaping Guyana's landscape, delivering innovative residential, commercial, and industrial projects with excellence and precision. Be amazed of our extensive portfolio and services as we deliver creative and functional designs tailored to your needs. Detailed technical drawings and specifications, realistic 3D images and virtual walkthroughs, accurate plans reflecting the true built conditions. Expertise and experience oversight on-site to guarantee project completion. We are Elite Architecture. Vision evolved, spaces revolved. Call us now at 618-9518 or visit our website to schedule your free consultation today.
Dave's West Indian Imports is a wholesaler of all types of seafood with their own processing plant. Dave supplies supermarkets, restaurants, hotels, and bars. Place your orders now on telephone 501-4087 or 644-8999. With fresh seafood daily, Dave's offers custom cuts of your choice: snapper, trout, banga, gillback, shrimp, crab, and more. Order today. Dave's, Guyana's largest exporter to the USA.
Craving a meal that's big on flavor but doesn't break the bank? KFC has got you covered with the KFC 3-piece meal deal. Get 3 pieces of chicken, fries, mac and cheese, a biscuit, and a drink, all for just $2,200. It's the perfect deal, available every day. Enjoy your 3-piece meal deal at KFC today. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Surprise your family today with a nice vanilla flavored
Good evening and welcome to another program of the Sean Dever Sports Watch. It's Tuesday, November 9th, 2025. Season's greetings, everyone. On this program, we talk about Test cricket with former Barbados and West Indies opening batsman Philo Alfonso Wallace, ex-Guyana first-class batter Mark Harper, and ex-Trinidad and Tobago and West Indies fast bowler Anthony Gray. This program comes to you with the compliments of Dave's West Indian Imports, KFC, Namalco, Builders Lumberyard, Elet Architecture, and Survival Supermarket. Good night, everyone. Let's quickly tell you what happened today in the news of cricket. Well, there's the first Test match. West Indies did very, very well. New Zealand made 231 and 468. West Indies were bowled out in their first innings for 167, and then they set 531 to win. They scored the highest ever fourth innings total in a Test match, well, barring the 9-day Test match that was played between, I think it's South Africa and England way back when. They ended up on 5 for 57 for 5, with Hope getting 140, Greaves getting an unbeaten double century, 202, and Roach getting his highest first-class score, 58. So the second Test was started this evening, and West Indies got a good start. They were 66 without loss, and then lose a couple of wickets in the same over. Hope went for a duck, and King went for 33. At the moment, I think Hope is batting, and with him is Campbell. Well, the India Test series against Sri Lanka, South Africa, India. South Africa won 2-0. South Africa won by 30 runs in the first Test, and in the second Test, they won by 408 runs. Then in the Ashes series, in that famous two-day Test, this was a blinder. The first Test was won by 8 wickets by Australia in 2 days. And the second one was also won by Australia, this time in 4 days. The third Test is scheduled for the 16th to the 21st of December. And for local listeners and viewers, the GCB Women's Senior Intercounty Finals was played between Berbice and Essequibo, ended in a tie. Both teams fell for 62 with over 30 wides in Berbice innings, and the super over Berbice made 5 for 1, and Essequibo replied with 6 for 1. The regional women's tournament starts, I believe, in St. Vincent in January, and those ladies have a lot of work to do. All right, good night to you, gentlemen. We start with tonight's Test match. We talk about the Test series presently going on in the Ashes series, and we talk about the just concluded India versus Sri Lanka. And let's talk about tonight's Test match. 66 without loss. They were looking good. Campbell and King, before King got out for 33, and in the same over, Hodge was dismissed for a duck, and Hope is presently batting, I believe, and with him is Campbell. So good night to you, Tony. Good night to you, Philo. We're still waiting on Mark Harper.
I'm here.
Okay, I'm not seeing you.
Good night. Well, I don't know how to put up the camera. I don't know.
Okay. Well, you hear audio, so that's good. How are you doing, guys? Season's greetings to each of you.
Season's greetings to everyone, and
good night, Sean. Good night to the panel. Good night to yourself, and season's greetings to you and your family and the panel, and the entire listenership, and the people of Guyana.
Yeah, and the people all around the world looking on Facebook and YouTube. First of all, tonight's game, we had a good start. The momentum was built from the last day of the last test. I don't know when last we took a test match into the final session of the final day, and the final ball was bowled. We've lost 5 test match back to back, and we drew that one, got 4 points. We're now on the points table in the World Test Championships. What do you think the teams should do to continue batting in this way? We see the test match with the 4 top test teams: India, South Africa, Australia, England. How do you think we should play like them, or have a different style? Tony.
Well, good evening again to you, Sean. Good evening to our panel. Good evening to our listeners and viewers. I think that we have a template of what happened in the first game that we should follow. Obviously, if you're playing in New Zealand, and I've played in New Zealand before, back in 1987, the pitches don't change much. There's some green areas early on. The ball will move around. The new ball will move around. And if you prepare to be patient and be diligent, you can get runs, as we've seen in the last test match. I mean, it was a wonderful performance, a brilliant performance. Our batsmen showed a lot of class, showed a lot of tenacity and endurance. I mean, and Shehope must be complimented. Not only for him scoring a century in the second innings, but in the first innings, he also scored 57 off 107 balls. So it's really about patience out there. And if you prepare to be patient and be thoughtful and intelligent, we can get runs. Justin Graves must be complimented. We've seen signs of him doing well in the Caribbean last year in white ball cricket, but still it's the same habits that he's shown in this test, the last test match, getting a double century. With that level of endurance, he scored 3 centuries in white ball cricket in the region. So he's developing that habit of concentrating for long periods, maintaining focus, and getting the big scores. Kemar Roach, as I said in the group chat, when he came to bat, he had 4 hours to bat to secure the game, secure a draw. And I said that he's technically the best and most competent batsman when it comes to defensive technique, because he moved that back foot, he plays it soft hands, and he made 58 off 233 balls, which is a phenomenal performance. And if he wants to stay out there, he will stay out there, and that's exactly what happened. So we want to repeat that level of performance. We want more partnerships, and obviously the pitch is going to get better and better. I don't think that New Zealand is up to stretch and strength with their bowling attack, and they've depleted. So this is a game we can win.
Yeah, we look towards the batsmen now. The batting, Philo and Mark Harper. Mark, you first. What do you think our batters are doing wrong? We got 66 for 2.
Sean, you want me to answer that? So
yes.
He's staying till next year? No. I think, first of all, let me compliment the performance for the last game. And I think the opening partnership was very, very encouraging here. They were very watchful. They left the ball alone, and they put away the loose deliveries, right? But the individual players themselves, with the coach, they need to go and behind the scenes work out the little areas that they have problems with. King often gets caught on the back foot. They're misjudging the length and being jammed up there. Hodge likes to play back, right? He needs to look at the length and try and see if he could, cover the length at the ball. It's not the first time he's been in LBW, and it takes him a little time to get in his rhythm. But he likes to play back a lot, so he's been in LBW a couple of times too. But the approach so far has been very encouraging, and I'm trusting that we will be able to put a good score, 350 plus, on the board.
All right.
And put some pressure on New Zealand.
All right. Philo at lunch 92 for 2, Campbell 4-4, and Hope, well, he's still there on 8. Our best batsman arguably in the team. How do you describe the batting approach? What would you like to see more of when the batsmen get set? Like tonight, they were 66 without loss, and all of a sudden, in 1 over, 66 for 2.
Good night, Sean. Good night to the panel. As I said, Caesar's greetings. Sean, we played a very good test match in the first test. We batted well, and the batting was down to 3 guys.
Yeah.
Shea Hope, Justin Graves, and Kemar Roach to a lesser extent. Justin obviously batted out of his skin for a double 100, not out. Shea Hope 140 and Roach 58. Now, if you look at the amount of time they spent at the crease and the amount of balls at their face, all we need from the top order, the first 4 batters, is that type of itching. And I think that is what is lacking at the top 4 or 5 batters, excluding Shea Hope. They don't apply themselves. They don't assess conditions. They have not assessed the conditions well in New Zealand in that first test match. And they allow the New Zealanders to make early inroads. We've all played 4-day cricket in this show, and we know the importance of batters batting session by session. We know the importance of bowlers getting early wickets. In the second test match, obviously we've gone 6-0 without loss, and then we've lost 2 wickets. But we've lost 2 wickets of 2 of the players who missed the first test match. And obviously you can see a little ruts from Calvin Hodge and Brandon King, again, umpire scored, and he was given out. But we have John Campbell, who's coming off 100 in India. He didn't get any in the first test match. And he's batting with Shea Hope, who got 100 in India in the last test match, and who got 100 in the first test match against New Zealand plus a 50. So there's some positives there. And John Campbell obviously will have to draw on his strengths of what he has done in India. No money is New Zealand, but drawing his strengths in India to put the batting package together in New Zealand. The conditions are going to be the same. They're playing the Basin Reserve in Wellington. There'll be a bit of new movement and stuff like that. New Zealand have gone hard with 4 seamers, but you have to weather the storm. Opening batters are expected to blunt the new ball. And then John Campbell is worth his salt. He's done half the job, or a quarter of the job. He's batted for 2 hours. He needs to do a reassessment and come back after lunch and bat again. He's a guy who is in tremendous form in Shea Hope, who is accustomed to batting long and square hundreds. And these 2 guys just need to knuckle down and bat New Zealand, bat West Indies into a respectable total at the end of day 1. And then hopefully look to carry on in day 2. But we don't want to lose 5 and 6 wickets in the middle passes of play. And then at the end of the day, we're scrambling at 210 for 8. I don't think that is be a good thing. For New Zealand, it will be enough for West Indies. I think that we need to get John Campbell and Hope now to come back after lunch, solidify the position, and just look to bat deep into the first day. Because we have shown that we have the characteristics to do it. But obviously it is called consistency that is the key for our batting if we're going to make any progress in Test match cricket.
Mark Harper, what do you think of Tevon Imlach? He looks good behind the stumps, but he's not getting big scores.
Well, I think, first of all, he's a very good cricketer, and his keeping has been one of the highlights of the West Indies in recent times. But, of course, in today's cricket, it's not your keeping alone. It's your batting. You're an all-rounder, because that bottom half of the team there, they're expected to put 100, maybe 200 runs on. You need somebody to guide that tail, right? Like how you had Graves and Roach there, So Emlak has to go back to the drawing board. He's getting MBW quite a lot, but he needs to make some runs.
And we know he's got the ability to bat. We saw it in the regional tournament. We saw it in the inter-county. We saw it for DCC. But what's the difference now when it comes to test level? Of course, everybody knows that he's one of the better keepers around. But his batting, as you said, Jeffrey Dujon in the 80s changed the whole scenario of wicket keeping, and you've got to get runs also. And since then, most of the wicket keepers are, as you said, all-rounders. They can bat and wicket keep. What do you think is the difference with him at regional level and at international level?
Well, the difference, in my opinion, is that in regional level, sometimes guys might not be able to identify or or exploit if you have a little technical flaw. Whereas Test cricket, you remember you got analysts and all these people on this sort of thing. So they are be able to identify certain things, and the guys are able to execute. So, you got to keep working in your game. You got to keep working in your game.
Tony, as a fast bowler, a former fast bowler, how is it to bowl in a depleted attack like New Zealand in the last match, and also in this match? The debutant, I think, got 2 wickets in 1 over, but he looked bad in the first over he bowled. Is it nerves? Is it the adrenaline flowing? What is it when you're making your debut? You could remember when you made your debut for the West Indies?
Yeah, it was back in 1985. It was a one-day game against India in Sharjah. Wasn't really nervous in that particular game, but I was nervous in the test game in Pakistan, because you played regional cricket, and it's not as great as test match cricket, although in those times we played Shell Shield cricket, which was very competitive, and we had the iconic figures playing at that level too. So when you got up to playing Pakistan and you heard about Imran Khan and these guys, you would be a little bit nervous. And I think that he was a little bit nervous. Remember, he was looking to retire. 6 months ago, he was looking to retire, and he played regional cricket. He is a guy who is very intelligent, very hardworking. I had a discussion with him about 2 years ago at the Queen's Park Oval. To me, I think that biomechanically he's not as efficient as he can be. Depends a lot on pace through the air. Pace overall, he can bowl at 90 miles an hour, but he has to get his mechanics consistently there, and it's not repeated. So sometimes he can spray the ball around, and sometimes he can bowl straight. Sometimes he can bowl some real jaffas, depending on how efficient or not efficient his mechanics is. So he needs to be a little bit more fluent. Just to touch a little bit on Imlak. Remember, Imlak needs that clarity of mind. He has been on tour for a lot of times as second wicketkeeper to Joshua De Silva in the past, and he has not really been given that experience overseas. So he's going to be a little bit more shaky at this point in time, not knowing for sure that his place is cemented. So you have to give him time to grow. I think it's the right thing for Imlak to be there, batting at the number 8 or 7 position. 8 position could be looked at carefully, give him enough time to rest, give him a lot much experience so that he can get more fluent. He needs to be a little bit more attacking, but he has the propensity to make runs because he scored 3 centuries at regional cricket level. He scored over 500 runs in 40 competition. But remember, test match cricket is far different, a much greater level, and he has to adjust.
Philo, you want to comment on Imlak?
Yes, Sean. Obviously, Kevin Imlak, you said the score runs in Guyana, but we're dealing now with the international arena. He has been, he had a good debut in Pakistan, but he has to learn quickly because you still have to be cognizant that Joshua De Silva, who I believe should have been the best in this team, is still there performing and knocking at the door. He just led his team to the finals of the regional Super 50. And Imlak needs to understand that when you go to bat, you carry your bat and not your pads. And he needs to be more, he tries to show a bit more aggression, more intent to score rather than just surviving. You made a good point that Jeffrey Dujon turned the dynamics around when he came into West Indies cricket as a keeper batter. Then we had Ridley Jacobs, who did Brown. Jacobs played 68 test matches and it was a success. So Imlak would have to learn quickly that when you get a chance to bat in test match cricket as West Indies keeper, you need to make a contribution. And you're seeing that what Justin Grace have done, there's reliability there. So he has to tell himself, look, if I can get him to stay, even if he's batting with Justin or even a Roach, what Roach has done, there's an opportunity to score runs. But he has to be able to show that maturity as quickly as possible on this tour, because this test match and then another test match and there's a break. And he needs to try and get some sports behind him so he can give himself confidence knowing that when the next that series is coming around, there'll be no question marks over Imlac's inclusion. But he is a talent, there's no doubt about that. But at the end of the day, we want to see productivity in the right-hand column, which is runs. A good keeper, not scoring any runs, a lot of people are not going to recognize him. So he needs to understand, I think he has the common sense to do it. And yeah, I believe he will come good before the series is over. And just to let us know or remind us what he can do as a batter. His keeping is good, but we need to get some runs coming from Tevin Imlac's bat.
All right, let's take a pause for business calls and then we'll be right back.
Now Milko has done it again. We've listened to you and now available nationwide. Another convenient size packaging of Thunderbolt all-purpose flour. It's here. The 5 kg or 11 pounds new packaging of Thunderbolt all-purpose flour. Now available at your nearest supermarket.
National Milling Company of Guyana.
Attention seafood suppliers, Dave's, the largest purchaser of fresh fish from Guyana, is interested in buying from you. Dave's deeply cares about bolstering the local economy and is looking to begin business with an eager seller of fresh fish and agro products. Dave's needs a constant supply of snapper, butterfish, bangameri, bundari crab, sheriga crab, white belly shrimp, bon carilo, edo, saijambaji and more. Contact Dave's West Indian Imports at 21 Middle Street, Viceless, East Coast, Demerara. Telephone 501-4087 or 644-8999. Dave's will purchase.
Elite architecture, shaping Guyana's landscape, delivering innovative residential, commercial, and industrial projects with excellence and precision. Be amazed of our extensive portfolio and services as we deliver creative and functional designs tailored to detailed technical drawings and specifications, realistic 3D images and virtual walkthroughs, accurate plans reflecting the true built conditions, expertise and experience oversight on-site to guarantee project completion. We are Elite Architecture. Vision evolved, spaces revolved. Call us now at 618-9518 or visit our website to schedule your free consultation today.
Craving a meal that's big on flavor but doesn't break the bank? KFC has got you covered with the KFC 3-piece meal deal. Get 3 pieces of chicken, fries, mac and cheese, a biscuit, and a drink. All for just $2,200. It's the perfect deal, available every day. Enjoy your 3-piece meal deal at KFC today. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Looking for quality lumber for your dream home or an upcoming project? Then make Builders Lumberyard your premier provider. We provide a full selection of rough and dress lumber, such as Green Heart, Purple Heart, Kabakali, all types of mixed hardwood, Silver Bali, Ditarma, and many other species. We also stock clean and knotted pine doors in various sizes, Qualaba posts, farm boards, plywood, and all types of molding. Orders can be cut to any specification and delivered to your worksite. With over 25 years of experience in the lumber industry, we are determined to provide a quality lumber that meets our home builders and contractors' every need. Builders Lumberyard and you will always be a winning combination. Visit our main office at 12 Lombard and Deroy Street or our branch office at 66 Ben Street, Georgetown, or telephone 225-9530 227-0904.
Yeah, welcome back to the Sean Dever Sports Watch. Just about 29 minutes past the hour of 8. I want to say season's greetings to everyone looking at the program, including my mom, Juliet Devers Chapwania, and everybody, Derek Kaieteur, who is in New York, and Nolan McKenzie and Colwyn Kurt. They might be sleeping now in England, but I'm hoping that they're staying up to watch the West Indies bat after lunch. I want to say good evening also and season's greetings to Dave's West Indian Imports. Those are my sponsors, KFC, Milko, Builders Lumberyard, Elite Architecture, and Survival Supermarket. Hope you guys have a great season and we continue to work together in the new year. How important, this is for Tony Gray, was the first test draw. We were lost 5 tests previously, and we drew that one. And what are your thoughts on how should we approach this match after lunch? 2 questions.
Yeah, listen, I think it was vitally important because of those, 5 straight losses. And obviously, Darren Sammy taking over, he needed to get into some degree of momentum when it comes to winning games. He started off with playing against Australia, 3 test matches here in the Caribbean. I thought our wickets were poor, up and down. And if you're playing against the best team in the world, our batsmen would struggle. Our bowlers were excellent. They bowled the right line and length. Against India, always going to be very difficult in India to beat India. But we showed that ability to fight back with Shea Hope and Campbell. In New Zealand to me is a depleted bowling attack, especially, and batsmen who, coming back into prominence. They need to play a little bit more stable cricket. We have to seize the opportunity to beat in New Zealand for the first time in a long time in New Zealand because of the fact that they're depleted at this point in time. I've mentioned we have to look at the template that we used in the first test match, the way we had important and lengthy partnerships, and we want to repeat that. But it's not up to 3 batsmen. There cannot be a dependence on Shea Hope alone. It has to be consistent contributions to the top order batting and, for everybody to muster a great score. This first inning score is vitally important. And I think that if we can get to 400, 450, we're in with a chance of beating a team that has been depleted where human resources are concerned.
Mark Harper, as a former batsman, how do you see the home series against Australia? Philo spoke about the up and down pitches.
Well, to be honest, those pitches were treacherous. And they bowl an attack that Australia possesses. For us to be playing on those pitches against Australia, yes, our bowlers were able to exploit it also. But remember, they have a little bit more experience and they have better bowlers. So if they made 15, they would bowl us out for 10. No, listen to me. We have to get better pitches in the region, right? You could get a fast, bouncy pitch, but it's a pitch where the batsmen, if they get in, they could bat properly. That last test match, the guys looked like if they were very, very uncomfortable.
Philo, what are your thoughts of the lack of availability for our 2 fast bowlers, Alzari Joseph and Shamar Joseph? They're both injured. I think Shamar is doing a surgery in England.
Well, Sean, obviously, missing Alzari Joseph and Shamar Joseph has pushed us back. And that is why the selectors have included Kemar Roach to experience and OJ Shields. If you look at the way how they combined and they were starting to shape as the pair moving off fast bowling forward with Jaden Seal, they've been sadly missed. But the potency is not there. Alzari and Shamar Joseph are 2 fast bowlers. They bowl over close to 140 kilometers an hour, or maybe even faster. So they'll be missed. But we have to understand too that within the Caribbean, our cricketers don't have a lot of maneuverability or avenues to develop. I am very concerned for Shamar holding in Barbados. I will hope that one of the franchises can pick him up next year and have him as the lead bowler, because he's a man that played a few years ago in West Indies colours in New Zealand and is out of cricket in Barbados. This Niall Smith from Guyana. What has become of him is it is the young fast bowler Isaiah Thorne. What has become of him? These are questions that we want to be answered by the cricketing authorities. These young fast bowlers, what has become of them?
Well,
we saw England. We saw the injury to Mark Wood, and boom, England have a Lions squad in Australia, and Matthew Fisher is back in the setup. But if you look at it, we don't have that kind of structure and systems, and these are things that concern me about our cricket and our fast bowlers in particularly. And I think that we need to find an avenue and a way to have our fast bowlers in readiness, even some of our batters in readiness.
Yeah. Let me
Well,
just say something on the fast bowlers, Sean.
yeah.
I think that that point by Philo is a valid point. Funnily enough, before the start of the series against Australia, I was saying that there's no way I would drop Kemar Roach because of that vast experience. We know that he's not bowling at frenetic pace again. We know that he's a well-skilled bowler. But remember, we are trying to form a cadre of fast bowling strength that we need to have upward mobility in international cricket. I mean, we can't be dependent on just three fast bowlers. We have to have additional fast bowlers. These guys are not just playing one format of the game, they're playing two, three formats of the game, and then they're playing franchise cricket. So injuries will occur. So it's important that we keep the older head like Kemar Roach so that the younger fast bowlers like Lane and company can develop. And it just shows from the last test match that we drew against New Zealand how important Kemar Roach is to lend that experience, not just on the field of play, to pass on the knowledge also. So we have to, it's important, it's imperative that we develop our fast bowling strength so that we could have upward mobility in all formats of the game internationally.
Yeah, well, last year, Niall Smith and the other guy, Thorne, Isaiah Thorne,
Yeah.
Thorne. They were leading the Guyana attack and bowling very quickly. I did commentary in the matches in Antigua. But this year they played in the intercounty, and Smith seems to be getting injured a lot. I don't know if it's his fitness work or what he's overworking, or I don't know. But he seems to be pulling up muscles, having stress on his body. That's his problem. But Thorne has gotten a little bit overweight, and he played also in the intercounty, but both were not picked for Guyana in the regional Super 50. As a coach and a pathway selector, if you would say that, you're one of those who look at the players and send the information to somebody, a manager, and then it goes on to Sammy. Have you seen any good prospects, Tony Gray?
Well, let me just start by saying that Niall Smith, to me, I had a word with him at UE Spec, and I was telling him that to me, I think that he depends on shoulder strength and his bowling action, and not dependent on a combination of things. With the fluency of his run-up, he needs to be faster to the crease. So when he reaches, the crease with his bowling action and his delivery stride, he can go through his action a little faster. And if you're not doing that, it puts a lot of stress on your body. Remember, fast bowling is a stressful thing on your body and your mind too. But there's a lot of fast bowling potential around. Philo Wallace talked about Sharma Joseph. Sharma Holder. Sharma Holder, to me, at 17 years old, and I worked with him at the CCC level, when we send him off to play with the under-19 team, the World Cup winning team in 2016, was bowling really fast. He had his injury concerns and that sort of thing. But we need not to, divorce ourselves from this kind of talent. Because Gillespie, for example, the Australian former fast bowler, he got injured a lot of time on tour, and they work with them time and time again. The same thing like Cummins. Cummins is an 18-year-old, first represented the senior team, Australia team, and they work with them time and time again. So when we have fast bowlers in the Caribbean, young fast bowlers or intermediate type fast bowlers, we need to help them. We need to have a special program for them, and we need to be able to help them to recuperate from injury, both physically and mentally, because it's not an easy thing. But there's a lot of talent around, and we should concentrate on developing that talent in the right way.
Mark Harper,
I want to comment, please.
Yeah.
I just want to make a brief comment on the fast bowlers.
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask you about.
Okay. So, listen, we were renowned for producing some of the best fast bowlers in the world. And today we don't even have a fast bowling academy. We don't have no ongoing fast bowling program. Every island should have a fast bowling program, and then the West Indies should have their big academy there, with the likes of Tony Gray and whoever else, Otis Gibson, all them things. So I think.
Courtney
So we
Ambrose.
would know when we say Niall Smith, he would be assessed, he would get some technical help, he would get some mental help, and he would get some skill work, right? We are pussyfooting around everything, the fast bowling thing. We need to have a serious ongoing fast bowling program.
And Mark, how important it is to play in England, not even county cricket, play league cricket and club cricket. Once you play in the same conditions, you bowl in the same conditions. It's only at a higher level at county cricket. But how important it is for our players to try to play in England? I see that the two fast bowlers are playing county cricket. They played county cricket, Seals and Phillips, I think. But we are seeing now only fast bowlers. Our batting is so poor that the counties, well, of course, they want to win. They would, and they got to pay you. So they're not getting batters from the West Indies anymore.
I think people, when people looked at yesteryear and all our players who played in England, whether it's league cricket, county cricket, and minor counties, right? But they were outstanding players in their own right. I can't send for a man from far away to come and pay a lot of money if I got local players better than he. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tony, I think Tony would be able to answer that better than me. You back in those days, you had quality players, batters and bowlers.
Tony?
Yeah, Mark, you're very right. I think that a lot of times we constantly say and repeat that England helped us a great deal.
But we
to
have
me,
them.
I think England helped us, yes, not just county cricket, because I played for 4 years for Surrey, and I know that I got better and better. And the conditions helped me to get better and better because of the fact that it didn't have conditions like that in the Caribbean. So that those conditions simulated with England itself and then New Zealand conditions, which we could not simulate in the Caribbean. But more than that, the environment was professional. And league cricket too also helped. So that it's important that our batsmen get across there. But Mark is making a valid point. They're not going to sign us if we don't have that level. They're looking to win. They're also looking at the economics of their club. So they want players there that can bring the fans to the game to boost the economy, club economy. So, like, for example, Brian Lara, remember he broke the world record before getting to Warwickshire and then broke another world record during, I think, it was the first couple of months in Warwickshire, 501. So you can't say that England developed Brian Lara, but England and Warwickshire specifically prospered a lot from Lara being there, with a lot of new members being there, and Warwickshire is one of the richest clubs in the world. So it works both ways. But we really need to have players playing all over the world. And we're seeing India at the moment struggle to play test match cricket in India because their players are not traveling all over the world to play club cricket in other parts of the world. So they are not as well developed as the past great Indian cricketers. So it is impacting not just West Indies cricket, but other parts of the cricketing world.
Philo, when Tony said all over the world, the first thing jumps to your mind is the 2020 leagues. How has the 2020 cricket hurt Test cricket, especially West Indies Test cricket?
So the 20 cricket has hurt West Indies cricket, Sean, because we don't have depth in cricketers. We have maybe 40 or 50 good cricketers in the region. And when you pull from them 15 or 16 to play for West Indies, you play, maybe some of those players will play all formats. Some might play two formats, some might play one. So we don't have the depth of players. So our players try to get into T20 franchises to showcase their skills, which is hitting the ball, rather than really showing the finesse about batting. Because T20 cricket is not only about muscle and hitting sixes. So they try to showcase their skills of hitting the ball. And that is why a lot of them gravitate towards the T20 leagues and not want to play, let's say, the red ball cricket. And a lot of the T20 leagues around the world too will clash with regional cricket. If you look at some of the players, the Sri Lanka playing, they went to Abu Dhabi, and there are a lot of T20 leagues cropping up, and our players will gravitate towards the dollar.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they'll make the money that they believe will secure them and their families down the road, where they can make investments and become businessmen. And it's going to also look at our T20 women's. It's going to look at women's cricket as well, because the women's leagues are going to come up as well, and some of our players will be involved. So T20 cricket has hurt West Indies cricket in that we don't have the numbers in relation to cricketers that we can hear around to all these various leagues and still pick West Indies squads. So it's the numbers that because we don't have, that's why our cricket is hurting. But when you look at people like Justin Graves, who only plays two formats, there is hope. And I'm not talking about sheer hope or Kyle hope. There's still hope that we can use people like Justin Graves to really send a message that there is value in playing the longer formats.
All right. 93 for same two. Campbell on 44 and Hope on 8, which means the one run after lunch was an extra. Let's go for another commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about women's cricket.
Looking for quality lumber for your dream home or an upcoming project? Then make Builders Lumberyard your premier provider. We provide a full selection of rough and dress lumber, such as Green Heart, Purple Heart, Kabakali, all types of mixed hardwood, Silver Bali, Ditarma, and many other species. We also stock clean and knotted pine doors in various sizes, Qualable posts, farm boards, plywood, and all types of molding. Orders can be cut to any specification and delivered to your worksite. With over 25 years of experience in the lumber industry, we are determined to provide a quality lumber that meets our home builders and contractors' every need. Builders Lumberyard and you will always be a winning combination. Visit our main office at 12 Lombard and Deroy Street or our branch office at 66 Ben Street, Georgetown, or telephone 225-9530 227-0904.
Surprise your family today with a nice vanilla-flavored cake made with Maid Marian cake flour. It's perfect for the birthday, anniversary, special occasion, or just celebrating the joy of having your family together. So get a pack or two of Maid Marian cake flour to make that moist, fluffy, vanilla-flavored sponge cake, donut-shaped cakes, Swiss rolls, and other delicious baked goods. Bring on the smiles with Maid Marian cake flour. Made and packaged not by hand by Nomilco, the National Milling Company of Guyana.
National Milling Company of Guyana.
Elite architecture, shaping Guyana's landscape, delivering innovative residential, commercial, and industrial projects with excellence and precision. Be amazed of our extensive portfolio and services as we deliver creative and functional designs tailored to your needs. Detailed technical drawings and specifications, realistic 3D images and virtual walkthroughs, accurate plans reflecting the true built conditions, expertise and experience oversight on-site to guarantee project completion. We are Elite Architecture. Vision evolved, spaces revolved. Call us now at 618-9518 or visit our website to schedule your free consultation today.
For more than 3 decades, Dave's West Indian Imports has been supplying the demands of Guyanese living in the USA with their favorite Guyanese products: Pomeroon coconut water, fresh fish, shrimp and crab, champion chow mein, icy sodas, golden cream, margarine, wiri wiri pepper, katahar, and kazrib, just to name a few. If you have family from Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica, Dave's has them covered too. 9807 97th Avenue, Ozone Park, New York, only 5 minutes away from Liberty Avenue. 11808 Liberty Avenue, Richmond Hill, New York. 7505 New Hampshire Avenue, Tacoma Park, Maryland. The Caribbean market. Dave's West Indian Imports, supplying the best of the Caribbean to the USA.
Yeah, well, welcome back to the Sean Devers Sports Watch. We've got about 10 minutes left on the program. Let's talk now about women's cricket. I think some time ago, Mark Harper was a part of the Women's Cricket Association. I was the PRO. I remember when Emily Dotson was directly involved in women's cricket. Have you had a chance to see the intercounty, Mark? Mark? Well, Mark is gone. It was being shown on YouTube, and the standard is very deplorable. The standard was very deplorable, and we've got a regional tournament coming up next month. We've got rain falling, and yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we've got rain. It's raining here in Guyana and most parts of the Caribbean for Christmas, of course. And there's not going to be much preparation for these girls, especially the Guyanese girls. I'm hoping that there is no international tournaments or leagues like the Big Bash, and so the Women's Big Bash for Haley Matthews and Dottin to be playing in. So the Barbados team, well, that would be a franchise tournament anyhow. So they could play for different franchises in the Women's Regional Tournament. But I am trying to get... Mark Harper, you still there?
I'm here. I'm hearing you.
Yeah. You are part of the women's cricket with Emily Dotson as the president way back. How do you think that this tournament is what is needed for the development of women cricket? You practice for all the year and then you play 4 days. Well, in this case, you play 7 days of cricket, the T20 and 50 overs.
Well, Sean, if I had to arrange it, I would ensure that we seek out the young ladies and try to work and develop their skills, right? And then when we've done that, then we go into county, or if you could have split them up into 4 or 5 teams, to play a competition that's competitive. But when we play in a competition, we telling people we're playing into county and a team making 30 something with 20 something buys. We really fooling ourselves. Because if you look at the standard of women's cricket around, look at the recent World Cup and look at the BBL in Australia. The standard is very good.
Yeah. So you think we should have more camps in Guyana, especially like the Hinterland team? They arrived, I think, 2 days before the tournament started. So what would you suggest to the Guyana Cricket Board to improve and develop women's cricket?
First of all, I don't want to make any suggestions to the Guyana Cricket Board. But what if I had if it was my if I had the opportunity to deal with it, the people in the hinterland, I'd make sure that they got an ongoing program and develop, and when they're of a certain standard, then bring them to play in competitive activities.
I think that's a good initiative that the president had with sending Stephen Jacobs and somebody else, I think was your brother, to the hinterland to expose them. But as you said, they have to be developed. You just can't bring them into a senior intercounty, which is the highest level of cricket for women in Guyana, and then want them to do well in the regional tournament. I saw Essequibo. They won the double today, but the cricket is very poor, except for a few players like the Williams sisters and so on. And in addition to that, most of the Guyana West Indian players, they were in a camp in Antigua. So,
well, that's another thing too.
Yeah.
So you need those players around to help with the development of the other players. Some of them will go learn the game, and that's the other thing.
Yeah. Tony, is women's cricket vibrant in Trinidad and Tobago?
Yeah, it's more vibrant than the other parts of the Caribbean. Perhaps Barbados could compete with that vibrancy. I mean, as I mentioned to you in one of the programs previously, Sean, that we have to do things internally. When I say internally, like for example in Trinidad and Tobago, we have signed an MOU with Samuel Badre not too long ago, and he has an academy. There's Ganga's Academy, where young women take part, young girls, first of all, and then young women. So what Mark was saying is the right thing. We have to develop skill first. It doesn't make sense you spend all this money and put them into competition. And as he mentioned, a team gets bowled out for 34. It doesn't help. So it has to be process-oriented systems that are put in place. And you have to look for talent too, and not just cricket talent, but athletic talent. I mean, DeAndre
That's
Dutton
right.
is a holistic athlete. The catches she has taken, the shots that she has made, Haley Matthews did the same thing. If you look at their history, their athletes before, the Australians, for example, and the Indians are trying to do it now. The Australians, for example, their whole culture is about sport. It's about athleticism. It's about physical strength. And when you have physical strength as a woman, at the highest level, it has a very serious advantage over women who don't have the physical strength. So the Indians now are concentrating on that. Hence the reason why they have done well in the World Cup, won the World Cup recently. But you have to look for athletes. You have to put them through a process, and you have to develop skill before competition. You could play internal competition in clubs and in the regional teams, but not external competitions, regional cricket. When they don't have the skill, it doesn't make sense, and you're spending on wasting money.
Yes.
It's the money.
Philo, what is the level of female cricket in Barbados? Because I had a program with Haley Matthews, and she said she usually has to play with the boys. She even captained the primary school boys team, and she's playing now with Pickwick, which her father used to play for, Matthews. Philo?
Yeah, Sean, sorry about that. I've unmuted myself. But you look at women's cricket in Barbados, Sean, there isn't a lot of women's cricket in Barbados. You may have a group of girls practicing, and that is it. The competition for the women are few and far between. Some of the women play in the BCS second division competition. Obviously, they're not good enough or strong enough. They have the Roland Butcher Young Gems of Barbados, which is just trying to get young girls into the rudiments of the game. We just sent a team to Peru, and you saw the results from the Bolivian games. A lot of the very, very low totals. We had some West Indies on the 19 cricketers, Asabi Callan and those in there. Shamir Connell was in there as well, but we didn't do well. So when you look at women's cricket in Barbados, a whole lot needs to be done across the board for women's cricket. One of the big things about the BC is that they're trying to get women, young girls involved in cricket. They have a home of cricket at Rubis, where they practice, I think, Tuesdays and Thursdays. But as Tony said, these girls are practicing, but there's no actual game time. You can practice as much as you like, but if you don't have game time to see how your skills are developing, you're just spending talking mud. And these are things that the regional boards need to discuss at CWI level for the funding and distribute the funding in a way where the proper coaches can be set up and the proper programs and developmental programs and systems to help the girls to develop. My biggest peeve in the region is that we have a guy called Gareth Breeze who used to play for Jamaica and West Indies, who was involved in England women's cricket for a little while. I believe that some territorial board or CWA should reach out to him and bring him to the region to do a 6 or 7 day consultancy camp or conference to help to discuss with those coaches who coach women's cricket, the rudiments and what is required to coach women's cricket. Because I believe that coaching women has to be a specialized job with guys who are, or persons who are well trained and understand the dynamics of coaching women cricket. I think that we take a man and say go coach the girls, and he coach them like men. I don't think you can coach women like men. There's a special way in which you have to coach women to get them to understand and do the things that cricketers are expected to do.
All right.
And until we get until the territorial boards get those things in place, our women's cricket and our women's teams are going to continue to struggle.
All right.
And fitness is a big problem for women's cricket.
Yeah, we quickly run out of time. Latest update, 101 for 3. Campbell has been caught by Mitchell off the bowling of Michael Ray. And Hope is still there. He's on 15. Chase has come out to bat to join him. He's on 1. So after lunch, from a position of 92 for 2, they've lost Campbell for 44. That's the latest we've got from New Zealand. And on behalf of you guys, as I said, next month, we're trying to get additional half hour to the program. So it's going to be 1.5 hours. So on behalf of Philo Wallace, Tony Gray, and Mark Harper, and our technical guy, I'm Sean Dever, saying, if you can be good, then be careful. And season's greetings to everyone.
Good evening, guys.
Yeah, good evening.
Now Milko has done it again. We've listened to you, and now available nationwide. Another convenient size packaging of Thunderbolt all-purpose flour. It's here. The 5 kg or 11 pounds new packaging of Thunderbolt all-purpose flour. Now available at your nearest supermarket.
National Milling Company of Guyana.
Big man though, and he's sick. But he could have.
Dave's West Indian Imports is a wholesaler of all types of seafood with their own processing plant. Dave supplies supermarkets, restaurants,